And we're streaming now. All right, here we go.
Here we go!
All right, we're back again.
And we're back.
Sunday episode.
Sunday.
Have we decided
Kids
on Sundays?
seats are just $5.
Is that, have we decided on Sundays then? Is that going to be our
Sundays
day,
will probably work best for me.
day du jour? I think it's the best.
Yeah.
Probably. So I don't know what, 10:30, 10:45? What's our start time?
Yeah, 10:30 is
We should
good.
probably announce this now. 10:30?
10:30 on
11,
Sundays.
you
That's
know.
what we're doing.
11? That's going
know.
to be cutting into football time, though.
Your mom's
Football
cutting
starts.
into... Yeah, all right.
All right. Thank you.
Hacky
Greg.
joke! First of the day. All right. Well, yeah, why don't we do
That's early.
10:30s?
Sure, 10:30.
All right, 10:30s on
Whatever
Sundays
you
is a
guys
new show
think of.
date, and we'll
Fuck.
tweet that out too. So a new episode should be up on iTunes at Distracted Discourse probably within the next couple days.
Yes.
We'll just do 1 and 2 right off the bat. Just
Probably,
something
yeah.
to listen to. So
The first episode was so awesome. You're gonna want to. You're gonna want
Blow
to
your
binge
mind.
it.
It
You're
was
gonna want to
pretty
binge
good.
it.
A little review. We spent a lot of time looking at images online and laughing
Yeah.
at them
Yes,
privately.
we did do that for a little bit. See, the best part is that no one's going to listen to this episode without listening to the first one, so your little review's essentially useless because no one had,
yeah, well,
no one
you're
has
gonna-
access to the other one.
Oh, I gotcha. I'm on
Yeah.
board.
Well, and I think some of the stuff that we talked about is probably old by now, anyways. You know, with
The
the
naked
Not really.
pictures.
naked pictures.
We talked a lot about that.
Yeah, nothing's really leaked. Have you noticed that since then? I mean, there's
Correct.
been a few that have came out there.
Yeah.
There's the one with Audrey Plaza, and she's like fingering herself in the
Wow, I have not seen that one.
bathroom.
Nor have
Where have
I.
I been?
Really?
What the
Oh,
hell?
pull it up.
Oh, come on.
See if I can find that
Yeah,
one.
see if you can find that one.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Yeah, let's all look at porn together on the air.
Hey, it's
yeah, we'll
not
pull out our
porn.
dicks and play with ourselves for a little while.
Well, as long as the mic
I
doesn't
love
catch
playing
it, yeah.
jokes with friends. I do know that Reddit recently banned their any reference to a subreddit involving these naked pictures. Oh, okay, wow, look at this.
Who are these?
I've
people?
never been to this website. Let's go here sometime.
Oh, but it's censored, though. I forgot to say
What?
it's censored, yeah.
Says who?
I don't know. It says this. It's probably... See, I think what this guy's doing for these leaks or whatever is he's basically...
He's teasing us.
teasing us with them, you know.
Who
He's
is
saying,
this?
okay.
One? Who is this person?
Oh, she's off Parks and Rec. You know, the...
This is April.
Oh, this is April Ludgate.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's kind of. I don't know. It's a
I
weird
don't know if I
picture.
like that.
Looks a little aggressive, doesn't it?
It looks
Very
very,
aggressive.
aggressive. Yeah. If yeah.
But you know what? If
Check the levels on my finger. Go
I
ahead.
think that if you were to tell me that April Ludgate was going to make a naked picture, I would imagine it'd be aggressive.
it has to be aggressive.
It has to
Probably.
be at least a little aggressive.
So yeah, that one was just out. I don't know if I saw... If there wasn't... I don't know. There's a couple other ones. that were
Holy
out there
shit.
either.
Well, there was the whole big deal about the Michaela Maroney picture
'Cause she's young.
Because she was 17 when the picture was taken, so it was.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
immediately-
pull that. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
please,
pull that one
please
up.
don't. Let's not.
We'll
I mean-
avoid that one. I mean, the Avril Lavigne ones, but I don't think she was
But
naked. in
who
it.
really gives a shit though? Like
Who is Avril Lavigne again?
she sang that song about the,
No, I
the
know.
skater boy. You know,
No, I'm just
the
kidding.
one that goes like
So
you
that
know,
so
skater
that proves
boys.
it. That's
Is
what
she
they're
like
trying
40 now?
That's what they're trying to prove right here. Oh, that's definitely her because
Because they own the same outfit.
that's just one of a kind. No one else would own that.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's probably my age, mid-30s. How old
Yeah.
is Avril Lavigne? Let's look.
Old enough, and she's Canadian, so it doesn't really matter.
Good
Yeah.
point. I don't know if she's done much lately.
So, yeah, the whole rumor is that there's going to be more pictures released, including some of Emma Watson, question mark?
Ooh.
Again, this guy is teasing us. He's
That
a-
I'm excited about.
What I know about this guy is that he is...
84.
He's a... He's,
84.
oh, I thought you meant she was 84.
No.
Oh,
It's a
she's
good-looking
aged
84.
very well.
Yeah,
Yes.
wow. Cloris Leachman.
Eat your heart out. So what were you saying?
This guy who leaked these pictures operates from 4chan, go figure, and he goes by the tag
dump of the internet.
Yeah, the dump. He goes by the tag J-Law, and apparently he single-handedly found all of these images and released like half of them, and then has released like what most people would consider blackmail videos with like a picture of his screen, a screenshot of his desktop with all of these other pictures that out of focus a little bit, but you can see them, and he's saying that he wants to release them. I don't know, like if he's demanding something or. But yeah, that's the deal.
I require $1 million at the drop-off location.
Sharks with laser beams in their head.
Well, you're bribing the right, or you're blackmailing the right people.
People with money, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. Just.
I mean, for completely scholarly reasons, I would like to investigate those pictures of Emma Watson. I mean, totally academically,
just to see what's in them.
I think he's doing it wrong. Yeah. I think he should see if he can hack into like Dick Cheney's or like just see if he can get some like pictures of Sandra Day O'Connor or something like that.
If he's got all this power, why isn't he going after the government? If he's able to just access this shit.
Yeah, man. Easily. Get some Condoleezza Rice up in this bitch.
Well, it kind of makes you wonder. Like, I imagine President Obama has like a cell phone, right?
Yeah,
like that he uses for his family, and it's probably an iPhone because everyone has an iPhone. And I wonder if he's given special kind of security from Apple or...
Well, didn't he have to get rid of his? Do you remember that when he first got elected? Didn't they say
it was a BlackBerry?
He had to get rid of it because the security on it was so piss poor that it could be easily hacked. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, because I think he had a BlackBerry,
elected.
didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think it was like an iPhone, or because BlackBerries are essentially doorstops at this point.
Like,
who's using?
It's like the Nokia 5150.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys remember the Sidekick?
Was that the little?
That was like when I was in like 9th grade.
My dad still has a Sidekick.
Of course he does.
Because my sister's old phone is now his. So
that's like the size of a tablet right now with the screen the size of an iPod.
Well, he's like the smaller version of it. But yeah, it was the one where he was like this, and you like hit it, and then he and it flips up.
The screen flips up. Like all the cool kids, all the skaters had that when I was in high school.
Is that the one that had the keypads like on both sides of it?
No, I had that phone though.
Okay.
I had that phone, and that thing was a piece of shit, too.
What the fuck was it? What was that phone called?
I don't know. The piece of shit.
Piece of shit?
Yeah.
I remember the
Samsung piece of shit.
I remember
piece of shit, too.
The revolutionary phone that they came out with that you could open... That you can open both, like, flip it like this, but you could also flip it like this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
2 ways to flip it.
That was back when phones still had hard buttons.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You would be hard-pressed to find a phone right now for sale that has hard buttons.
That was a really intense pun. You'd be hard-pressed to find a phone.
I was at my parents' cabin a couple weeks ago, and my mom still has one of the flip phones or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just going to see how long it takes me to text myself, how are you? Just a simple little text. I'm sitting there putzing with it. Fucking ever.
T9?
Oh, yeah. It was bad. I'm like, holy shit. My mom doesn't text, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
It's amazing how far that's came with it. And I, like, for work, I hook it up to, like, the iPad and shit, too.
Right.
So I can, like, hotspot it and all that shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, I love it, but I fucking hate it at the same time because I just hate having people having constant access to, like, me all the time.
Before we move on, I have another funny story about a cell phone. I was at my cousin's wedding a couple weeks ago, and we're sitting there at the reception, and some stupid event is happening. Some little kids are dancing or something.
Yeah.
And my aunt leans into me and says, "Hey, does your phone have a camera on it? I want to take a picture of this." And I just look at her like, no shit, my phone has a camera.
Yeah.
Like,
Every phone has had a camera since like 1998.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Razor had a camera.
The Razor did have a camera.
The Nokia 5150 had a fucking camera on it. It wasn't great, but it had a fucking
keep bringing
camera.
up this Nokia 5150.
That's my first phone.
I don't
that I
have like an image of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could.
I mean, I assume it's like a candy bar, kind of like big fucking
like a
brick
brick.
phone. I saw
Nokia 51.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
There it is. That had a camera on it?
Yeah,
Right
probably.
there. That had a little tiny camera on it.
No way.
That does not even have a color screen.
Yeah,
Oh, I
there's
know.
no way that has a camera.
I'm almost positive it had a camera. on
Did it take pictures in like in fucking LCD?
Oh,
Like,
it was
what
terrible. It was like probably 0.02, megapixels.
Megapixels?
It was either
It was kilopixels.
Kilopixels.
It was still kilopixels.
Yeah, that was my first. Yep, right there. That was my first phone.
Okay.
Tits.
There's no way.
Hold
that
on. Nope,
has a
that's not the
camera.
5150 though.
That's a 5300
because that's
a step above
down.
what you had.
See, this slides right there. I remember when the Matrix came out. Remember fucking Neo's phone? Or, they actually made those, but they only made them in Japan, and they were like $3,000 for this stupid phone. I wanted one so bad. We all wanted one.
Of course.
Of course. That was the coolest thing ever, but it's...
I remember seeing a
Nokia made
really funny image of like... I don't remember where it was. It was they were just saying like if the world were to ever come under like a big attack, like alien attack or like asteroid attack, all we have to do is just send a bunch of these Nokias into the solar sphere, like just send them out and then have them have them be the new atmosphere, just like cover because they're so indestructible because you could throw them anywhere and they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's we can use that, and we can use all of the surplus Microsoft Surface tablets that are sitting around. That even the Chinese who made them don't want to buy back. We can just use that to make a barrier.
I love those commercials. Those commercials are so funny for the Surface tablet because they don't advertise how good the Surface tablet is. Yeah. What they advertise is that it's not that much worse than the iPad.
It's not that bad, guys.
That's their commercial. They're like, I remember one specifically. I think it's on Hulu or something where they just go. Oh no, it's on NBC. If you watch the NBC app, because I was watching Last Comic Standing, and they just go around and they show people the Surface tablet, and there's like, look, you can even do this and this and this, and then the girl's like, oh. That's cool. And then the final one was the best one. He gives it to this guy, and the guy's like, "Aw, I love it." Like he was like it was like a pity. Like he was pitying the technology. Like, "Aw, that's so cute. You guys are trying still."
Trying so
I think it's
hard.
just commercials in general that stink, and it just happened to be the end of that commercial that stunk.
Oh, it was so funny.
You brought up Last Comic Standing, which I told you before we started. I watched that show again last night, the Laughs TV or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know which one I'm talking about?
The one on Fox, yeah.
Absolutely fucking horrible.
Wow, really?
Dude, it is so bad.
Who was on it?
The hackiest fucking comedians
I gotta watch
I've ever
this.
seen,
I love
man.
Hacky comedians.
Okay, the only one that and it's not just because I don't know. Like, I know him, but he doesn't know me. Like, I met him a couple times. Is that Gillespie? He was pretty funny.
Steve Gillespie was on
it?
Oh, nice.
He was on it. And I'm not just saying that because I know him, and I'd be like, but dude, the rest of the comedians they were terrible. The premises were fucking awful. They were so fucking bad. And it was the same thing with, like, Last Comic Standing, too. Most of the comedians on there, like, I barely laughed.
Well,
laughed like twice. There was one comedian on that show last night that was funny, and he made a joke about how he thinks that they're seriously trying to kill off black people because not only is there liquor stores on every corner because he lives in the ghetto, so there's liquor stores on every corner, but now they make watermelon vodka. And I thought that was really funny. I'm like, that was like one of the only jokes that I laughed at.
Wait, but that's so hacky, though.
It is hacky, but at least... Oh, dude. Okay, you think that was hacky? You should have seen the other shit.
Dude,
it was
I know,
fucking
horrible. That joke was like the fastest kid in the Special Olympics.
Yeah, it's like, it's funny, but yeah.
I mean,
the rest of the shit were like, about like this guy was talking about how his fucking... his wife didn't want his friends to come over, and then he did this mediocre impression of Igor, and then there was another one that was talking about how raspy her voice is, and that's when she was on the playground when she was a kid, everyone thought she was a bully, and just all this fucking shit. It was so and then what they do is this little thing where they read these tweets, like from these comedians too. Those weren't even fucking funny. Like nothing was creative on it.
You have all the time in the world to come up with a tweet. Like
exactly.
That show ran into a little bit of like
we talked about
a little bit of trouble with the stand-up community because apparently they're not paying union rates for like, I'm not even sure if they pay you at all. I think they maybe pay you a little bit or something like that. But
are you implying that there is a comedians union?
No, it's just like a Screen Actors Guild.
Oh, I would have been really excited if there was specifically a comedians union.
No, like the screen. Yeah, they're not getting paid SAG rates for like going on TV and stuff like that and whatever. And so a lot of comics were like pissed about that. Well, not pissed, but they sort of took up arms against it, saying like, "Hey, this is our craft. You should pay us you should pay us for it and all that kind of stuff." Meanwhile, the producer of the show, argues that it's it's exposure, it's TV. It's a TV credit. It's something that everyone kind of wants to have a TV credit.
Yeah, it's a TV credit for a show that no one fucking watches.
Well, I mean,
It's
yeah.
not a
I mean,
major
hopefully,
network.
yeah. Maybe eventually someone will. But the point is, that was
It's
kind
not
of their,
that bad, guys.
Right.
Is what
Have you
Greg
seen
is
it?
saying. No.
Have you seen it? Oh, it's bad, dude. Just
Well,
watch it.
Nick Anthony was on it.
I'm
very
not
first
saying there
show.
isn't like
No, I
funny
know.
people.
I'm just
that
saying,
are
like,
on
Nick-
it, but
Nick was on it, like, on the
this
very
one was
first show.
pretty fucking
What's
bad.
the show called?
What was it? Laughs,
Laughs or something
Laughs
like that.
TV or something like that.
It's just stand up.
I wonder if we can find a commercial. For
It's on at like midnight on Fox, I think. Right?
it.
We talk about
yeah.
prime time TV.
Yeah.
It was-
Well, you know,
I think it was on at 10:30.
10:30.
Hey, that's not bad. Actually,
I'm normally busy at 10:30.
You know,
Laughs
See if I can
TV.
see if I can find a trailer
Laughs
for it.
Fox. All right. While he's bringing that up, do we want to?
Oh, here, Greg, you brought this up right here. Yeah,
What is this?
that doesn't pay its comics.
Laughs on Fox. So, well, we got an advertisement right here. A new stand-up series, but they're not paying the comics.
right. So that's the
Laughs is a
thing
new
where
show
people are
comedy.
saying that.
Nationwide. August 2nd runs Saturday. Each half an hour episode features.
Let's all sit while Matt skims.
Yeah.
Let's all listen to Matt skim the article.
Well, while Matt is skimming, Greg, do we want to go over some fantasy football
We
highlights?
should probably talk a little about
a
fantasy.
little bit about fantasy
bit.
football. This is the first real week of football.
It is, and I'm so excited.
Games start in like an hour.
That's going to be. I'm so excited. I had a really great time watching the Seahawks and Packers game.
Oh, it was a glorious
It was a
game.
really great game, and one because the Packers just got shut
well,
down, which makes me happy
because Aaron
personally.
Rodgers looked like a high school
Right.
quarterback.
Well, no, okay. Let's give credit where credit is due. Aaron Rodgers had some really good throws, like even while he was scrambling. Like there
Yes.
was some real athleticism there, but the Packers as a whole were just not. There was just
Sure,
nothing.
and I
there to
really
be
think that
excited about.
game highlighted my thesis this season, which is that Eddie Lacy is a criminally overhyped running back. Granted, Eddie Lacy is a very talented running back. He had a very good season last year, but he is not explosive like Jamal Charles. He is
No.
not going to
Or Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch, as we saw from that game. Eddie Lacy. I mean, and he's splitting carries with James Starks and what that
Yeah.
other guy, the other big chunky running back
Whoever
man.
he is, I don't even
Yeah.
remember who it was. Yeah, I mean, but it was also weird to see. Not weird. I mean, I don't know. It was interesting to see Corliss sitting in the tight end spot.
Yeah.
Which is, I was like, that was kind of a question mark for me because he was the quarterback last year when Rodgers was out, and now
Utility
I guess,
man.
Yeah, now I guess he's a tight end, and I guess next year he'll probably be safety, and then maybe
Yeah.
kicker the
Yeah,
year after
probably.
that. Well, they'll just keep switching him around.
Speaking of utilities, I think we should lay down some bets on how long Percy Harvin is going to last with
Before
the
he
kind
gets
of
migraines?
Yeah, with the kind of exposure that he had in Thursday night's game. Before he decides to finally kick the bucket completely.
Just
every
die.
season he manages to fuck something up royally.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that I think that the Seahawks are clearly they're clearly excited about having him on the team. They used him quite a bit in that first game. I have a feeling that that they're going to try to keep him safe. You know, like see if they. I mean, I don't know what that means, but maybe it just means
Maybe take
give
him
him
off of the-
rotations. Yeah,
take
in
him
and
off the
out,
kick
in and out,
returning
in and out.
squad, yeah.
That would be the best idea.
Yeah.
When you really think about the kick return, like the kick return squad, especially that guy. I mean, from in the way back, the receiver in the kick return. You're really putting him in the worst possible position in NFL
You're
football.
literally allowing 11 very large men to run full
80 yards,
speed
yeah, like for like 60 yards
Yeah.
down the field, and then finally
with the sole
run into
intent,
him. Of hitting
to
that
knock
one
yes,
guy.
really hard. Hit him really hard.
Whoever, kick return has just got
Yeah.
to be the worst. Like when you're put on special teams, you're like, fuck. All right, I guess
Yeah.
my career's
Oh,
ending a
great.
couple years
Yeah.
earlier, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Devin Hester's still running around.
Devin Hester is still putzing
Now-
around down there.
Now in Atlanta, Devin Hester is now an Atlanta receiver. Did you know that?
Nope.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Atlanta receivers, Andre Ellington sucks.
Not a receiver, but
And not on Atlanta. But I wanted to make that transition there because I have Andre Ellington and he decides to fuck up his foot and now it's a game day decision and I need to put him in or not put him in the next 25 minutes or so. If anybody listening has any opinions about what I should do, call in.
don't do that.
Do
Just
that.
Don't. No, it's
Oh, I already tweeted it. They can call in.
no. Call in. Just don't give Tony
No,
advice.
I need some advice.
Oh, so there's no advice.
Yeah,
Just
just
call
no
in.
advice. Please
Okay,
call.
all right.
Matt has been on his phone the entire time we've been talking football.
I like football. I got kicked out of my fantasy football league that year, and I've just never like paid attention.
Were you too belligerent as far as like smack talk?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you would fit in just fine in our league.
I didn't do it at all. I didn't like smack talking and do. I actually, well, to back that up, I didn't do anything. Like people would have to always constantly. I was like the taco of my league. They would have to remind me to set my lineups
set your lineup.
and shit. Yeah,
Taco, you don't need 3 kickers.
Well, that's not. We had a taco in our league. His name is Lucas. And last year at the draft, Lucas showed up, and this is after begging our commissioner to stay in the league. He begged, and the commissioner was like, "Okay, fine," because they're friends and they haven't for a while, and he's been playing fantasy with them for a while. So he shows up in like linen pants, like a Tommy Bahama shirt, and sunglasses, as Ziggy Wilf, the owner of the Vikings.
Ziggy Wilf, and with his first round pick, takes the Minnesota Vikings defense.
And then he grabbed Blair Walsh right after that. And then he went down and drafted every Vikings player he could get his hands on.
Players that were on the Vikings practice squad.
Like people that were not even on the roster.
And then he proceeded to not set his lineup, forget his login information.
He got Joe Webb, who at that point was not even playing.
Is he doing this like
to be a dick?
Because I was gonna say
he was just trolling everybody.
Yeah, because you would have to not know anything about fantasy. Well, I don't know a lot about fantasy football, but I know not to like draft people that aren't even fucking playing.
Well, he did more research than any of us to find out that deep into the Vikings depth chart.
Right, because like as far as draftable players, I mean, you're gonna get. Because eventually people started taking some of those people. Like people wanted
Adrian Peterson,
Kyle Rudolph. People were already trying to grab, and so it sort of came down to this.
Man's grabbing
a beer. Yeah, I told you guys my refrigerator freezes too hard. It's too awesome.
Yeah. We were talking about being belligerent in fantasy leagues, and I just want all of you to get a taste for just a sampling of our message board. This was earlier this week, and the title is Fisted. Ciao. Are you ready for the baby fist fucktards? First and foremost, fuck all of you, but especially fuck Andy. Now you're probably asking yourself, why is he saying fuck Andy? They're not even playing each other this week. Well, let me explain why. 2 things. Wisconsin. Red hair. Enough said. Sincerely, the Baby Fisters.
So that was actually the guy who wrote that actually made a brief appearance on our show last week.
As the person who was sitting next to me and muttering kind of close to the microphone, you may have heard him.
But as I think before we end this Final Fantasy football segment, I think we should maybe give a couple of who do we like for today? What do you think? Like who's going to be a must start?
All right,
just in general.
A must start is Calvin Johnson. I would say
you're going to want to start Calvin Johnson.
Megatron.
I'm thinking you're also going to want to start like LaShawn McCoy, Matt Forte,
Jamal Charles. You're going to want to start them.
I think that's what we should do every week. Just go over the best players and be like, you're going to want to put Demaryius Thomas in today.
I think a must start. I don't know why you wouldn't, but Zach Stacy is someone that you absolutely need to play this week because he's playing the Minnesota defense, who sucks criminally. Criminally. You're going to want to play Zach Stacy. He's going to put up 100,000 points.
You know what, though? I'm not sure because I have Zach Stacy in one of my leagues, and I read this thing today saying that he's kind of that the Rams are doing a bit of a committee run attack, and that's going to be tough for Zach Stacy to get all the carries.
Yeah, they'll give it up.
Probably. I'm a little worried about Reggie Bush. Because I have him in 2 of my leagues, and I love Reggie Bush, but it seems like he's going to be splitting carries with Joik Bell.
Yeah. You're going to want to play Le'Veon Bell against Cleveland.
Well, because Cleveland sucks.
And, yeah. Oh, on another note, Cleveland, I don't think they know who they're starting at quarterback.
They don't?
I think
Is it Hoyer? Probably Hoyer?
Well, it's either Hoyer or Sir Jonathan Football. Right. I don't even think they know right now.
The most important story out of Cleveland is that Josh Gordon
is
the new car salesman of Cleveland,
and that is not
congratulations to him.
Yeah, he's going to be playing. He's going to be selling cars, and I remember when I was talking to someone about this.
Broke or what is it?
No, because
he was suspended for a year for being a jackass,
and so they forced him into doing some like community service kind of stuff to getting a normal job. So So everyone was like, the guy I was talking to was like, is he going to be like selling like nice cars, like a Cadillacs or some sort of. No, he's selling like Chevys and Fords, like
Subarus.
just whatever. Like that's what he's doing. And God knows he's going to sell a shit ton of cars. Would you buy a car from Josh Gordon?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
I'd buy a car from Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't buy a car from Josh Gordon because he's a cock.
Well, let's figure this out real quick before
He might throw some weed
before.
in the glove compartment for you.
So before we go any further, do you guys even watch the Vikings at all?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Have you looked at their schedule?
No.
No.
Okay, here we go. Vikings against Rams.
Okay.
Which one?
I'm gonna
Rams.
say the Rams.
Okay.
They have a good defense this year.
Vikings Patriots.
Patriots.
Vikings Saints.
Saints.
They have a decent. I don't know. They're kind of messed up right now a little bit.
I'm
Jimmy
a typical Vikings fan though, and I have absolutely no faith in my team.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Okay, I mean I go with Saints on that one too.
Vikings Falcons.
Vikings.
Falcons.
Wow, you're picking the Falcons on that?
Yeah, Matt
I think
Ryan
we're
with
gonna do
two
okay
amazing
with the
receivers.
Falcons.
It's going to be a huge shootout for Matt Ryan because the Vikings have
Dude,
no secondary.
Captain Munnerlyn, he's gonna lay down the hurt.
Vikings Packers. There's a big one.
Packers.
I'm picking Packers.
Yeah,
Vikings Lions.
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 You
I guess
picking
I'm just
Lions?
saying that the
Yeah,
Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah, but isn't Stafford out though? Isn't he
No.
done?
No, Stafford's in. Stafford's ready to
Stafford's
go.
fine.
Well, are we sure?
No.
Okay, because when I was at the card room on Thursday, I heard something about Stafford being out. Didn't he tear his
I've heard nothing
ACL
about
again?
that. Let me check. Who has Stafford in our league? The Alex Wall does.
How do you know that?
Because I have our draft
Oh, yeah, you got
board
the
next to
draft
my
board.
bed, so I roster bait. Wow, Aaron Rodgers a stellar 11 points.
Matthew Stafford. He's not injured.
No, Matthew Stafford's ready to go.
He's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, all
You're
right,
thinking
so
of someone
He's
else.
good.
I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah, you must be.
All right, Vikings Bills.
Vikings. Finally, Vikings.
Vikings Buccaneers.
Vikings.
Vikings.
Okay. Vikings Redskins.
That's an interesting. I'm going to go Vikings on this one because RG3 really needs to step up his game.
I think the Redskins are pretty bad, and I
Okay.
think RG3 is bad.
Now, you know what I read today? I read today that that they think that the two primary targets for RG3 as far as pass game, they think that it's going to be Macklin and Reed. They didn't even mention Deshaun Jackson, their new secret weapon. Not secret. Their
It's
new
not
fucking
secret, no.
Let's see.
Heavy artillery.
Vikings Bears.
Bears. Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall, Matt Forte.
Yeah, I'm going Bears.
Then we play Green Bay again. I'm going to pick Vikings on that one because if we lost the first time, they're going to be pissed. So
Nothing motivates like
no,
revenge.
nothing.
And by that time, the
And there
cheese
can only be one Highlander.
the cheeseheads had had so much time to eat all their cheese, so they're going to be all full and fat and
Yeah,
sluggish.
there we go. Hack joke number 3.
There you go.
Panthers Vikings.
They've got a really good defense this year, but as far as offense, they've got nothing. I mean, they've got the quarterback. That's about it. I'm gonna go Vikings on that.
I'll go Vikings.
All right. Vikings Jets.
Vikings. Oh my God, the Jets would lose.
If the Jets win a football game this season, then Greg will give me a little coitus.
I will give him a little coitus. The only reason,
Ass play.
the only
A
way
little
that
butt play.
the only way that the Jets win
finger
a
or
game
just
this year is if Nick Mangold comes in as like a running back or something like that. Their center. He's a huge man.
Nick Mangold.
I
That
want a
sounds like
Nick
center.
Mangold jersey. Like I really want a Nick Mangold Jets jersey.
Vikings
favorite.
Lions. Second time.
Lions again.
Lions again.
Vikings Dolphins.
Vikings.
And Vikings Bears. Second time.
Bears still.
Okay.
No, I don't give a shit.
So basically, what we're saying is they're going to have a losing
Let's say
season.
6 and 12.
Yeah, but that's,
6 and 12.
We're thinking all of that because we don't know what Bridgewater's going to put up. when we
Well, on the
run out.
Vikings show last night, they had Josh Duhamel on, the actor.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Don't. He's married to Fergie from
Duh.
Black Eyed Peas.
So.
Oh, he was on. I guess he's a Minnesota Vikings fan. He played for.
Oh, I thought you were saying that they put him on the roster.
No,
Why?
he played for NDS. He played for NDSU like back in the day.
Oh.
Anyways, he thinks the Vikings are going to go 9 wins this year.
Sure. I could see it, maybe.
Maybe they'll
That's
sneak
Josh.
out a couple
Yeah.
if maybe Aaron Rodgers dies and Drew Brees dies.
So So, but Aaron Rodgers, okay,
Jimmy Graham dies.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Sandy. Aaron Rodgers didn't play that much last year. Is that correct? I don't know. I don't know what.
Well, he got injured.
Aaron Rodgers got injured for 4 or 5 games.
Threw out his shoulder or something like that.
Yeah.
Just
And
weird.
that's when the Packers realized that their team is entirely, like, completely run by Aaron Rodgers.
I can't even remember who won the fucking Super Bowl last year. Probably because I was hammered. I was
The
just- I
Dolphins.
tanked.
It was the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino came back.
Yeah.
Out of retirement.
Yep.
Seahawks, wasn't it?
The Seahawks won.
Marshall Faulk
The Seahawks didn't even win the Super Bowl. They just took it. They walked up to the Super Bowl guy with the trophy and were like, "Hey, we don't even need to play a game.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take this."
Yeah, they didn't really win it like their defense won the Super Bowl is what happened. The Seahawks defense won the Super Bowl because they, as far as points scored, like I think they did okay. I don't remember the
They had
exact
like
score.
43 points, right?
Did they?
What was the score of the
I
Super
want to.
Bowl?
I can't.
It was like 43-7.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
It was
remember.
insane.
I don't
It
remember
was
it being that high
stupid.
of a scoring game. I thought it was. I just remember that the defense was the primary. Like, but they had 2 defensive touchdowns, right?
I didn't watch the game. I just
Oh.
assumed that the Broncos were going to win like some kind of a dumbass.
why wouldn't they just fucking put the score?
34 to 31.
Oh, against the
No.
Ravens.
That was the Ravens and the 49ers.
Okay.
What?
Oh, so it's going to
What?
be 2014.
14. Yeah, it was in January.
Yeah, jackass.
Idiot.
God.
Fucking, I hate you.
Final score. Why isn't it like the first
Yeah,
hit?
no shit. Just tell me what the fuck it was.
Packers versus
No,
the
this
Seahawks.
isn't. What?
That was not the. Was it the Packers?
No,
it was
the Broncos.
What are we? Okay, this is just ridiculous.
Okay, here we
Yeah,
go.
why wouldn't they
Let's
just put the
search right
goddamn thing on it right away?
There it is. All right, box score
43 to 8. All right.
Hey, at least the Broncos got that
A 2-point conversion.
There we go. Good
Peyton
for
Or
them.
Manning-
safety or
Peyton
something.
Manning did something right.
I just
This is a terrible game.
Last year's Super Bowl. I don't remember much from the game, but all I remember is it was pretty boring from what I do remember out of it. I drank a lot of beer last
It just
Super
didn't
Bowl.
feel like a really competitive game. It was like everyone was expecting the Broncos to come in and kick ass, but they just didn't. They just didn't show up. I don't know. I don't remember. Like, I think it was a defensive thing. Like, the Broncos.
Do you guys remember when the Giants were in the Super Bowl? That wasn't too long ago.
Giants versus Patriots, was it, or what was it? It was
Yeah,
versus-
Giants Patriots and Eli Manning won. Do you remember that? That
Yeah.
seems so like just out of
It's so
anything
sad.
possible
right?
now.
Because
Yeah.
right, because
How long
Eli's
ago
got
was that?
more. He's got more Super Bowl rings than
Maybe
Peyton.
2009.
It's been a few years. I don't remember exactly when it was.
It's amazing that, if I look back at like past events in my life, I'm like, oh, 2001, I was living with a bunch of guys in the house. But like 2009, I'm like, oh, that's Super Bowl? That seems like fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Bowls, for some reason, the time length between them, it seems ridiculous.
It's
like,
insane.
it's only a year, really. But for me, it's like impossible to remember who even fucking played those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't tell you who played like season
I watched the
before
goddamn
last.
game. I saw it with my own 2 eyes, but I can't even fucking tell
But
you.
I think
who played.
I think it's because the football season, at least if you're a fantasy player, the football season's so stressful.
Yeah.
That by the time the Super Bowl rolls around,
Yeah.
like you're done with fantasy, but you're still kind of a little invested in the football.
A little.
Yeah.
I don't really have a favorite team.
I mean, I am. I just love football, so like I'm still invested in it. And then finally, when it's over, you're like, okay, I want this break. And then the break starts getting a little too long because you want to get back into it.
Yeah.
I think there's just a lot of emotion tied to football seasons. I think that's just how it goes.
Yeah, the most exhausting one, I think, for me was when we got taken out by the Saints.
In like semis or like in the game before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was the most emotional one for me. That was the year. That year right there was probably the most I've ever been into the Vikings. And I mean, we were.
What, are we talking 2009 with Brett Favre?
Yeah. That was the most I've ever. I mean, we're talking. I think. It was like every other fucking weekend we would go to a bar and just get shit hammered. Like, and we would go to like a Vikings bar, like
Shit.
No better way to support the home team.
Main Street Tavern in Hopkins is a Vikings fucking bar, and we would
Right.
go there, and we would go there like every other weekend. And I was super into it. And I remember when we lost to the Saints that day, you know, like I had to work like the next day. Like I left early.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was depressed. I'm like, what
If the
fuck?
Vikings ever win the Super Bowl, well, hopefully eventually they will, but when
Yeah.
and if they win the Super Bowl, there will be rioting in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Well,
no,
I think
dude,
so.
I
It
absolutely.
depends what part, north.
Absolutely. and if it's like this year, it'll be crazy, especially in Dinkytown because that's what they've been playing all year.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll back this one up and say this.
When the Gophers won, we rioted. So
When
In
we
hockey.
Okay, so when we host the Super Bowl, what is that, 2018?
18.
Okay. If we host the Super
And
Bowl
we're
and
in
actually win the Super Bowl that year, I think they'll burn the fucking stadium down.
yeah,
Brand new
easy.
stadium. We will burn it down. We will raise money and we will
Ceremoniously.
build a new one.
We will
You
ceremoniously
fucking
do it.
imagine that.
We will. We
No,
would burn
no.
it
The answer
down
is no. I
like-
can't imagine that because the Vikings never win.
No,
that
but I
much.
know, but that would be so. That would be so just fitting.
Yeah.
Such a
You know what I mean?
masturbatory fantasy.
No, you know what would be
Like
even
anyone.
more fitting though is if we made it to the Super Bowl and lost. That would be even more.
Yeah.
Now
In
they're
our
gonna
own
burn
stadium.
the fucking. We're gonna burn the town down
Yeah.
instead of that. Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
Everyone from Minnesota just goes to the opposing teams.
Yeah.
we just we declare war against whatever state we're playing.
I will say this: if they do go to the Super Bowl that year in 2018, I will go. I don't know
Oh,
how
fuck
much
yeah.
I will have to spend tickets. I will get the nosebleeds if I have to,
Yep.
but I will go to that Super Bowl.
You can't not go.
Yeah. I might just go to it fucking because it's here. 'Cause we do a Super Bowl party every year, but I mean, I don't know, probably some convincing and some saving money. We
Yeah.
could probably make a trek over there. And Greg, you were invited to the Super Bowl party again last year, and you did not come.
I was at. I think.
Talk
No.
closer to the mic.
I think I was at. I was. Not
You
at
were
your
not
house,
at my
I think.
house. I did not watch the Super Bowl.
I think
What
I
were you
was at
doing?
I think I was at my fraternity.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
that's what it was.
Well, I mean, we have like an 80-inch TV and like a bunch of pizza and all
Oh,
that.
like
stuff.
we
It's
don't
such a-
have that at our place?
You have an 80-inch TV.
I have a 58-inch TV,
That is 30 inches less of football.
but
Good math.
tons of pizza, tons of food, usually free beer.
yeah, there was all of
I
that
usually
at,
get a
at my
keg.
fraternity too.
Also, not Jews, not frat kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Not college students.
That's fair.
Checking
Adults.
off 3 of the boxes right
Adults.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, but like college girls,
I know, but I really do think even though
that's the best place to pick up a girl is
At
Super
your
Bowl.
Jewish fraternity.
Jewish Super Bowl party. Yes.
all you hear is how much money do you think that guy makes all fucking time you're there, 3 hours of that.
Actually, I'm pretty sure.
What do you
that-
think does his taxes?
I'm pretty sure I was because we were doing the podcast already, right?
I'm positive.
Yeah. I think that was I had already started filming for Red Ice, and so I'm pretty sure that that the Super Bowl was on one of our shoot days, and I made it very clear to the director that I must be out in time to go see the Super Bowl.
Oh, maybe you did. I can't remember.
I remember
It was
that. Yeah,
a year ago.
I had already started shooting for Red Ice, and so I remember we were shooting up in Minneapolis, and
Yeah, just shooting all over the. shooting
and
all
I
over
told
the
them
place.
I told them that I needed to be out to
fucking
go watch the Super Bowl,
laying rope all
and I
over.
still had like my scar that they like the
Oh,
makeup
yeah, yeah.
scar. So I remember coming to the fraternity, and everyone thought I had gotten like.
When's that movie
in a
coming
fight.
out?
It's not.
Hopefully in the
It's
winter.
not.
This upcoming winter, I'm hoping.
All right, can we get a copy of that and screen it?
Yeah,
we'll watch it
absolutely.
here.
Yeah.
We'll do the whole show watching.
Oh, that would
this.
be great. It would be
Yeah.
like a Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
We can be the peanut gallery.
Oh yes.
What if we don't though? What if it's completely backfires and we're just like at the end we're crying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
good fucking movie. I can't believe it did this to myself.
Best performance ever by Greg Berman and Roger
Yeah.
Wayne. That was fun when we had Roger on the show. It was kind of
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be. The thing is that here's the biggest thing that sucks is that when the movie's done and it's made, they're gonna have a private screening at or whatever it's called. It's just like private screening for all the actors and like their family and friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they can't have a public screening because we're gonna submit it to Sundance and Cannes or whatever.
Cannes.
It's a Cannes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Money pretentious asshole.
We're gonna
Cannes.
submit it to Cannes
Yeah.
and Sundance, and if you do that, they don't let you have public screenings of the film because they want to be the first to screen it in case it in case it's really good. They want to be the ones to debut the
Oh,
film,
yeah.
you know. So unfortunately, and then so that also means that I probably won't be able to get a copy of
Aw.
it. I won't have anything until after Sundance and Cannes is over.
We'll just hire J-Law to go grab it from someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Give him a call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the actual actress.
No,
so like you're gonna call up
no.
J-Law and
No,
go.
we're not.
Grab Red Ice from somebody.
Yeah.
So we probably won't be able to see it if it gets picked up. When is that supposed to get submitted?
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping the film is done by winter. The thing is that we still have like 2 scenes to shoot.
Oh, really?
We're not even done shooting it yet.
Oh, Jesus. It's never going to get done.
I mean, we're not done shooting it yet because we had to. One of the nights when we were shooting in like a snowstorm on Lake Mille Lacs.
Yeah.
And we had some holes drilled in the ice for a couple scenes, and those holes got covered in snow, and we didn't realize that we had to lay down tarps to prevent that.
Yeah.
Because the snow blew over onto the. So we have to just reshoot that, and then we have one more scene to shoot where like the very last scene of the film, I have to go and reshoot that.
How's it end? No, just for everyone.
But yeah, so I think we'll. I mean, I'm hoping that we get that done.
We'll save you the hour and a half.
I'm hoping that gets done soon.
Guy and he's gonna. Yeah, okay.
It's gonna be really weird to see myself in the movie.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of which, Greg and I were having this conversation before we started recording here. What's the deal with all the butt stuff?
That's a very broad question.
Like, what's the hype? Greg was
mean?
wondering.
I was wondering what's the hype in butt stuff. Everyone's talking about doing
Like
butt stuff.
all these kids are into butt stuff, and Greg was just wondering, like he's not
anal
into
sex.
Yeah, what's the hype?
No. No one said anal sex.
Just
we're
butt stuff.
We're talking about butt stuff.
That's more general.
I don't know. I think that whole fucking landscape has changed since I was a kid. I mean, you guys
Back in my day.
Here, no, I'm going to tell you something. Here.
School us, Matt.
You guys had it. I
Preach
think
it.
a lot easier than we did. And here's a couple reasons.
As far
why.
as like hooking up with girls.
Oh God, you guys had it 10 times easier. Because here's the deal.
Wait, are you talking about like us individually or like our generation?
Your generation.
I mean, like, I could believe both.
Okay, so you're what? 23.
I'm 21.
21. Okay, you're 23.
Yeah.
So the same generation, right? I'm 33, so I'm 12 years older than you and 10
You're
years
technically still in the same generation, I think.
Let's not
yeah,
split hairs.
kind of. But here, okay. So here's the one point. So all right, you know how when you guys were in high school, right? The girls dressed. A lot of them dressed a lot more. They showed a lot more like cleavage, a lot more skin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was kind of in the thing. They were a lot more kind of like promiscuous, you know? They weren't whatever. Okay, so when I was going to school, if you were in high school and you dressed like the girls did now,
Yeah.
back then, they would have been considered sluts and outcast on the school, right? And there was a lot, I think, just in when I was growing up.
I think that's not different. I think
it's different.
No, I'm just saying. I think that the girls that dress the way they do now, they're all sluts. I think people are just more comfortable with. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
It could be, but
I think people are just more. I think people just have given that word less meaning now.
and I think
hate that word.
I hate it too.
Oh, I love it.
Slut?
Yes.
No, I hate it.
I love calling it to people.
Yeah.
Like, I love calling people
I hate the word
I'm calling my grandma that
because
word.
I know that it's so charged.
Slut is a word that girls use against each other. Slut is not a word that guys use against girls because guys don't give a fuck. I don't
No,
give a
I
fuck.
don't.
I don't
No one-
care at
no one
all.
cares about
I don't
that.
care how many guys you've been with as
No.
long as I'm one of them. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
No.
you
But,
can quote me on that, by the way.
but Matt, I think going
Put
back
that
to your
in a
main
yearbook.
point. Going back to your main point, I think that you're right in some sense that there's definitely a kind of shift. But I think that more significant in us being able to get with girls has to do with
Social media, I think.
No, I think it has to do
That's
with
a
a
big
change in attitude. Sure, a change in attitude. Where now we're seeing a lot of people who are, there's this rise of more like a free love culture.
Yeah.
Where, people they're sexually fluid. There's this whole thing about gender fluidity.
But
Yeah,
wasn't that like a huge thing in like
The 70s?
Yeah, but
70s?
then it got tight up. Everybody got uptight again.
Everyone, yeah.
I mean, that's
when
the
you
thing,
were
like,
you were in the uptight era.
Yeah, I was in the uptight era because,
You missed it.
So, I started going to, so I was in high school in 1996. I graduated in 2000, right?
Yeah.
So, if, by like senior year, it wasn't kind of as abnormal, that like there was a good percentage of people that probably had sex by then. But there wasn't as prominent. But like ninth grade, for example, I mean, if you had sex in ninth grade, it was kind of
was
like,
weird.
holy shit, this
That's
is really
weird
fucking
now, though,
crazy.
I think.
But yeah, it's weird. It's
was
weird.
weird.
It's weird now, but it's happening a lot
Yeah.
more than it was back then.
Yeah.
So, like I said, in ninth grade, I just think that, there was a few girls that I remember that had sex in ninth grade. And, I mean, they
probably went on to do
they
porn.
were shunned. I mean, they were fucking shunned.
Oh, no, I'm
It
sure.
was bad. And, but I think, you also bring up a good point, too, with the social media thing. We didn't have, like, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
like my last phone that I had in high school after the Nokia 5150. Like, it had a little camera on it, but, you know, it just, I mean, or
Right.
it had a camera and it wasn't the best. But, like, sending, like, dick pics and, like, all that shit, you know, and sending, like, sexting back and forth, that was...
Well,
it was
yeah.
it wasn't in existence.
It's not
It didn't
even. It's
happen.
not even that, but it's the fact that, like, I mean, the internet and Facebook and Twitter makes people so much more accessible to other people. Like, flirting is so much easier on Facebook. I mean, the primary tool for flirting, I think, back then, and I remember this. Like,
MySpace.
is well, maybe MySpace, but like maybe like AIM. Like, people would like
Sure.
like send like AOL Instant Messenger was huge.
Yeah.
And that's how you'd sort of flirt with people or whatever. But with Facebook, it's so much easier, and it's just. And then now there's Tinder, which is just a fucking shooting fish in a barrel. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so I think a lot of it does have to do with technology. I mean, I think it's just easy. It's just easier to like make that stuff happen now. Like, it's just easier to like to talk to someone
Sure.
and flirt with them enough with pictures and all this stuff. And then everyone's Facebook profile looks so gorgeous. All the pictures of them are so great, and because they're like filtering all of them.
Yeah.
So if you go to someone's Facebook profile and you see all these pictures, like, oh, this person's so hot, and then you know, and then I mean, that's if you don't know them already. But I'm just saying, like, there's this really great, like, I can make my presence online look like I'm so much better than what I, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
than what I actually am.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
that
what-
Tinder thing is fucking amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I'm not on it because I don't have a use for it, but still at the same time. I was talking to my wife about that yesterday. I'm like, if they haven't sold that app yet, I don't know if they have the creators of it, but when they do sell it, I mean, they're going to be they're going to be billionaires. They have to be, because what they're doing is they're taking something and they created an app for something that everybody wants. They want to find someone to fuck that's close by them, and they don't want to pay for it. It's
Close, promiscuous, consensual sex.
Exactly. And it's a genius fucking idea.
Yeah.
They created an app for what the market wants right now.
But they were also really smart, because a lot of people. So when Tinder came out, a lot of people were like, Tinder, gross." But then they released this like semi-marketing campaign, and it really wasn't a marketing campaign. It was an article that was an interview from the guy who made Tinder, and he said, "How different is it really from meeting someone at a coffee shop? When you meet someone at a coffee shop, you see them,
or meeting someone at a bar
or
and
anywhere,
hooking up with
yeah.
them.
You see
It's the same
them,
fucking thing.
and you see a couple that like them doing some small things, and in a shallow way, you're going, that person is attractive enough that I would consider, that I would consider having sex with them.
Yeah. Or like my wife said, like Backpage on Craigslist.
Oh,
What's the
yeah.
fucking difference?
Right,
You want,
there's
you
no
want to find a
difference.
guy that wants to put diapers on and be spanked. Well, it's the same fucking thing.
But it's
you
not
just
even-
have it on
You
an app.
jumped there quickly.
Well, my wife jumped there because she was the one that brought it up.
No, but-
Your
I'm
wife
saying
jumped right to the diaper.
that as far as Tinder is concerned, they're just all they're doing is they're taking, because they know that like most guys don't have the balls to just come up to someone at a bar or at a coffee shop unless they know that the other person likes them. Well, that's what Tinder does, is it just gives you the notification, like, it's like, hey, I like you, well, you should talk to me. It's the same thing. So I think that's smart.
Yeah.
I don't actually think it's the same as meeting someone in a coffee shop. I think the courage that it takes to actually come up to someone and
takes
talk to them.
chutzpah.
The chutzpah it takes to actually come up and talk to someone at a coffee shop or a bar, I think is different than the courage it takes to send someone a message on Tinder.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys talked to girls who have Tinder and asked them the kinds of shit that people send them all the time?
Yes.
It is ridiculous, the kinds of stuff that guys will say to girls on Tinder. It is disgusting
Oh, I'm
sometimes.
sure, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of pigs out there.
Oh my god.
No, one of my good friends that I've been friends with since first grade is one of those pigs expressly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like we'll be sitting like in a group and he'll be on his phone the entirety of the time on Tinder. And for him, it's just a numbers game, right?
Yeah,
like if
Eventually someone's gonna
exactly
suck your
if you
dick.
throw darts,
gonna
if you
bite,
throw 100 darts, eventually one of them's gonna hit.
Yeah.
But oh my god, I pick up his phone sometimes and I look and it's just disgusting. It's just gross.
It's
Oh my
like,
God, it's terrible.
it really does show, like, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not a fucking pig, but it's like,
No,
I
but
don't
you
know.
wouldn't start a conversation with a girl saying, "I want you to sit on my face."
No.
because you know that.
oh,
that's,
you got to ease into that, Greg.
Of course. Well, I don't know how these guys. I mean, I don't know if the guys are trolling or not. I don't know if these guys are. I don't know if these guys are trolling or not. But I do believe that.
It's for my brother.
I don't know if these guys are trolling or not. But I definitely. I definitely think that I don't know how they think that saying that to a girl if they actually believe that she'll be like, you know what, I do want to sit on your face.
Well, it happens.
There might be a few.
It absolutely happens because there are some people who have such low fucking self-esteem that they're gonna go for that.
Or there's some girls that are actually into that shit. You got to look at that too.
Sure, but I mean, this guy's not a good-looking guy.
But why not just
they just want someone who will mistreat them.
But why not? But why
Some
not
kind of
just
a daddy
say like
complex.
hi? Like why not? I mean, if you want her to sit on your face, there's other ways to do it. I mean, I'm just saying like there's more tactful.
Casanova over here.
I mean, I'm
Greg's
just saying,
a romantic.
Greg is the Romeo of
There's
face
more
sitting.
tactful ways to get a girl to sit on your face. I mean,
Yeah.
if your end goal is to have a girl sit on your face,
You have to ease into it a
then
little.
You
I
gotta
think
ease into it.
then I think if you know that that's what you want, then you would do some things that will get you the highest probability of her sitting on your face.
But-
and that is not the probability.
But let's
No,
talk
no.
about. Let's talk.
Oh,
about,
yeah, I agree
like,
with that 100%.
Let's talk about the effort you need to put into it, though. So this guy, his
Why
strategy.
wouldn't you just here? Hold on, before you go any further. Sorry to interrupt. Why wouldn't you just try to hook up with the girl anyways, and then when you're doing shit, you just ask her to sit on your face? You're already fucking there anyways.
Okay, no, okay, yes, that's absolutely a pragmatic way of looking at it. But okay, but let's bring this to a different level here. Let's talk about diaper stuff. Then
Yeah.
you really want to do some diaper stuff.
Yeah, some diaper play.
with some people on Tinder.
Yeah.
and
Does that automatically include butt stuff or no? I'm just curious.
No, I think it's more
No.
like just treating the man like a baby.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah, wearing some diapers.
I'm in.
Spanking. Naughty boys.
So you could do one of two things. You
Mm-hmm.
could either just straight up ask, "Hey, you want to do diaper stuff?"
Yep.
Or you could, take your strategy here and get to know them and, meet up and have sex. And then while you're having sex, you ask for diaper stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. How often is that going to work?
Probably not that often.
Probably not that often.
You probably
And guess
can't even
what?
get the words out of your mouth before she runs out of the fucking room.
And guess what? You just wasted a whole fucking
As
day.
soon as you say diaper, you hear
having
the door
lame,
slam.
non-diaper sex with this probably good-looking girl, you
Yeah.
just fucked up your whole day.
Why don't they just on Tinder then? Why don't they just on Tinder put fucking subcategories?
I was just gonna say, I think
I'm
you guys
into
are.
fetish
I
stuff.
think you guys
Yeah.
are into.
Poo-poo,
I
pee-pee.
think you guys are talking about something completely different. I'm pretty sure that there is some websites for like those communities where they can just talk to each other specifically.
Yeah, but those people are weird. I want a normal person who's into diaper stuff.
a closeted diaper stuff person.
Sure. Just into casual diaper play.
All right. Yeah,
There might be some out there.
I mean, with your example, Tony, I think that you're saying get to know them, have sex, and then you say, hey, you want to do.
And
some
then you
diaper
wasted
play.
the day. You wasted the whole fucking day.
I think that here's if you didn't get to know them and then have normal sex with them and no diaper stuff, at least you had some sex with them. But if you didn't do that and you just said for diaper stuff like immediately, then you didn't even
Okay,
get to
but
do
let me
normal.
tell you-
Maybe
let me tell you.
can ease into the diaper sex after you have the regular sex for a while and you build the trust up.
Yeah, that
But-
takes too long.
But if you're, let me tell
Go,
you,
go, go, Greg.
This is
Come
a known fact. If you're looking for diaper stuff,
Yep.
then normal sex is just insulting.
Yeah.
Right.
It is
No,
just
you're
the
right.
worst.
Yeah.
If you want diaper stuff, you can't settle for
See,
anything
I
less.
think the more tactful
You've
way.
got yourself to that point where
The
the
more-
only time you can
Exactly.
get
I
hard
think
is
the more
diaper stuff.
tactful way to do diaper stuff
Yeah.
is, you get to know. You don't say it right away. You get to know her. You can skip the sex by just going like this. You get to know her, right? You come to the date, right? And maybe you have like a backpack or something, like you're going backpacking or something like that, or hiking, right? And then you open the backpack and maybe you take out a bottle of water, but you rummage through it and then accidentally take out a diaper and go, oh, that's not the right thing. And then look at her, see what happens.
Yeah, and then she
She's
goes,
into
oh, you
it.
didn't tell me you had kids.
And then you go, no, it's not for kids. It's for us later. And if she goes, yes, then you're in. If she goes, no.
And calls the cops on you, you're out.
then you're done. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, then you're skipping the sex part.
That's a good point.
And then you can
I don't think
ask
there's
about the diaper
any
stuff.
easy way to navigate into that whole
Diaper stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't
there
think
is.
so either.
I don't think there is.
No.
There's got to be some sites out there that tailor to those types of
But
fetishes.
to go
course.
back to what we were originally talking about,
I don't even remember
and
what that was.
and that was that Matt was saying that it's easier to hook up with people now than it was
Yes.
before. I want to point out that I was definitely joking when I said that I think everyone's a slut now, because I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
But I think Tony was about to talk about it, but I think we should talk about the fact that girls are specifically the only people that that make fun of each other for being sluts. Like I don't know how much guys give a shit about
before
that.
we move into that, though, let me ask you this question before we move into that topic. So, you have Tinder out there.
Yeah.
Now, without treading too much water, so you have to be 18 to be on it.
No.
Okay, so high schoolers can be using this app.
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't think there's anything saying
I don't know
they
any
can't.
high schoolers, but I would imagine.
I know lots of high schoolers, but I don't have a Tinder.
I think that they absolutely can. You just got to lie about your age. I mean, because I think
that's going to turn into a real fucking problem.
Hey,
you think about that though. You got some 35-year-old guy and you got some 16-year-old girl that's really into older men, and they meet up and they're just like, hey, just between me and you got to keep this fucking out of you.
Yeah,
you can't tell your parents about it. You know what I mean? That could turn into some problems.
But how are you gonna? I mean, like I'm saying, like. It starts at 18. The Tinder thing starts at 18, I'm pretty sure. But there's no like, I don't know. There's no way you would know if she's lying about her age.
There's I just got an update here.
Yeah.
High schoolers do use the app, and you can say that you're under 18. That is an option.
Okay.
I just got that from my informer. And then you can meet other under 18-year-olds. The whole
that's
idea,
going to turn
though,
into a problem.
The whole idea, though, is that it's not
about that.
like they're never advertising Tinder like on the up and up as being
a hookup
for sex.
thing. Yeah,
it's for meeting people. It's for dating.
Yeah.
Right? So you can do whatever you want. I mean, you can have 40-year-olds meet with 16-year-olds, and you're still fine technically.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to go and have sex because of using your app as a medium, that's their own prerogative. I mean, you can't stop that.
And if your age is over 18, they don't show you anyone that's below 18.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But how can they? I mean, what if you got
17?
What if you got
That's good.
What if
That's
you got a
fine.
25-year-old guy that looks like a high school student?
It's not about looks. It's your age is in the app.
Well, yeah, but you can lie about it. But you could lie about it.
If you want to be a predator to people under 18,
Yeah.
there are so many ways.
If
you
you're
can do
25 and you look like a high school student, you got a lot of problems aside from the fact that you're trying to hook up with 16-year-olds.
But there is though. There was this guy I went to high school with. Not lying, he was in our grade. He was probably fucking 5'4", this little kid, that fucker looked like he was 10 years old when we were a senior. And I've seen pictures of him now, and he still looks like he could be in high school.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's a predator,
Right.
but my point is, though, is this guy looks pretty young, and he could take advantage of a situation if he wanted to.
On the flip side of that coin, Greg, when you were in high school, you probably looked like you were 25.
I did, yeah.
So by that same logic, someone who's 25 who looks like you looked like someone who was in high school.
Yeah, but that's like sure, but I was an anomaly in the other direction. Like I looked much older than I should have.
All I'm trying to establish here is that there are people who look older than their age who are in high school, and there are people who look younger than their age.
There was when I
was
19. Well, I was 19 my senior year of high school. Like I just turned 19, I think.
You wouldn't have been 19 in high school.
No, I just turned 18. My 18. Turned 18 my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And then when I graduated and went to college, I was 19. And I dated,
as most people are,
my neighbor for a while.
I've heard this story. We talked about this on the other podcast.
She was 38.
Yes, I remember.
Wow.
That.
And when she first met me, she wanted,
diaper stuff.
No. She wanted what happened was I had my buddies all over. My buddies, we all looked older than we were, but we were making a lot of noise. And I went next to her, we lived in this kind of like, it wasn't a straight apartment complex.
Yeah.
It was like this little circle thing, So I went and knocked on her door and I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry for being loud. Just let us know, but by the way, I'm Matt. I'm your new neighbor. She's okay, that's fine. And then, right after, like a couple weeks later, it was just myself. I was sitting around. It was like Thursday. And I went and knocked on her door, and I'm like, hey, I don't know anyone in this area. I just moved from St. Cloud, like an hour away. I'm like, you want to go hang out? And she's like, right now? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. She's like, okay, that's fine. So we went to a coffee shop, and she's like, I'm really surprised you didn't bring me to a bar. And I go, well, that's because I'm 19, and she's like, oh my God, I thought you were in your 30s. I'm like, no, I'm not. And she turned out to be 38.
Wow.
So we dated, I think, for like 3 months. That didn't work out very well.
Obviously.
Met a photographer
Fucking
and dumped me for them.
obviously. I remember
Then the second one was 39. Right after her.
I'm pretty sure we've spent an entire episode on her before in the Matt and Greg show, in which I just endlessly made fun of you.
I was thinking about it like a couple weeks ago. I was like, okay, I was 19. She was 38.
Right now, she is.
That's what I was thinking about. I'm like, okay, I'm fucking 33, so that's 14 years, 14.
53.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough now, man.
Yeah.
She's a grandma now.
Yeah. Back then it was kind of cool.
That's how old my dad is. All right, I got
Matt
a
for ya.
funny story about age. I got this friend who's he's my age, and
my dad.
yeah, you could be my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's the point you're trying to make, right?
No, the
Should
point.
I start calling you daddy?
No, the point was
Yes.
it was like
yes.
it was. I mean, back then it was really cool. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm hooking
sure.
up with
It was
this
like-
older
like-
chick,
like the
more
graduate
experience.
thing,
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
Older chick. That's not just an older. An older chick is like 4
No,
years.
okay, no,
That's
yeah.
like fucking.
Here, let me drop you this bomb. So I have a friend, I've known him forever, and his dad is really young compared to his mom.
Yeah.
And I found out that the story goes that his mom had a kid with this with a different guy, an irrelevant figure, but had a kid, and that kid grew up, went to high school, and was best friends with this other guy, whom the mother fell in love with, married her son's best friend, and then had my friend. So the difference in age is something like
Oh, jeez.
30 years.
No way.
Something like
30
that.
year
Like
difference.
25, 30 years or something like that. Yeah. So
Holy shit.
yeah. And
How do you
Wow.
find things in common with people that are
I
like
don't
30
know, man.
years older
And how do you
than
and how do you traverse that barrier? Like you're my
with your
son's
friends
best friend
and everyone? Yeah.
That's just
That's
just
nuts.
bizarre to me. Yeah.
I mean, love is love, right? I mean, like
Sure,
you
but-
can't. But I just think that it's just.
I'm not yucking their yum.
It'd just be hard. I think it'd just be hard to like. How do you find things in common? Like, how do you find like? Because there's so many differences in like. I mean, I think the Family Guy attacked that when
Yeah.
they had Brian date that older woman.
No, the Davenport.
yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's your fucking keys, like. Yeah, like I never.
Anison.
Yeah, I can't imagine how you find like things in common with someone who's 30 years older than you.
You can't. I mean, what are you?
I mean, just your like just maturity level, everything. Like
That's
there's-
like me talking to you today, saying that like I'm fucking 53.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same as like, okay, so every year I find this really interesting phenomenon that every at any given moment when you ask me like, Greg, do you think you really get it? Like, understand life? Do you think you get life? At any given moment, I'd say, yeah, I think I got a pretty good handle on it.
Yeah.
You literally talk to me like a year later, and I'm like, I was such an idiot about
Yeah.
a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you learn so much in such a short amount of time that 30 years is a ridiculous amount. How do you,
I
how do you
always-
not have this conversation every 5 minutes?
I always say
"Ugh,
this.
I remember when I was your age.
Yeah.
Like,
I always say that to myself. Like when I lived back at that house with like Jason and Mitch and all those guys, you know, when we lived in that house.
Yeah.
I'm like, we had a few parties where we had 200 fucking people come through there in a night, like just big parties. And I think about it to myself back then. All I was concerned about is getting as drunk as I possibly could, right? And I like think back and I'm like, how did I not just stop and just be like, okay, go fuck someone. Just go pick someone and
Yeah.
fuck them. You know, and there was like opportunities where I'm like, I know that I could have fucked these girls, and I'm like, nope, I just got to see how drunk I can get.
Got to
tonight.
keep drinking.
It's just like I look back then, and I'm like, what the fuck was wrong with me?
Yeah.
yeah.
If I knew now what I knew back then about
You'd be
everything,
slamming
oh,
bitches.
just it'd be insane.
It'd
I
be
wouldn't
a
even drink. I'd
buffet
be
of
fucking
beef.
sober,
butt stuff.
butt stuff.
Tons of butt stuff.
With that, you guys want to wrap for the day?
Yeah, let's do
we're
it.
about there. All right.
Yeah? We're
Yeah.
wrapping at butt stuff?
I think we're wrapping up butt stuff.
We
So-
started at butt stuff. We end up butt stuff. It's a
We
good.
didn't start at butt stuff, did we?
we always start somewhere close to butt stuff.
Yeah, it all ties
It
back.
never
It's a
really
callback.
goes too far away from butt stuff.
You got any dates coming up?
Yeah, I'm gonna be so I'm gonna
I
be
got a
in,
date. I'm going to the Twins game this afternoon. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna be in I'm actually gonna be in Madison this Wednesday.
Jesus.
At the comedy
Cafe.
No, that's Comedy Club on State Street.
Mr.
Comedy on
McChuckle's
State
House
Street.
of Yuck Yuck Yucks.
Yes. So I'll be on Wednesday there. They have an open mic there. It's a really awesome open mic. So you guys should, if you're listening to this and you're in Madison, you should definitely come out. It'll be really fun. And I don't know anything about Madison, so maybe we'll go get a drink afterwards. Show me the cool bars. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, another note. If you're listening to this and you're in Madison, fuck you.
I'm staying with Andy, actually, the guy who Mikey was making fun of on the
Yeah, the one who just got baby fisted.
who got baby fisted. So I'll be with him.
Nice.
And then I'm also going to be in the Milwaukee Comedy Cafe Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Oh wow! So you're going to be in Milwaukee for a week?
Well, yeah, Wednesday. So what I'm
Well,
doing is I'm
essentially,
leaving
you're doing
early.
4 dates.
Yeah, I'm leaving early. I'm going to Madison just to do the open mic because I love Madison and I love that open mic. And then right after that, I'm going to go and finish off the week at the cafe. I'll be back.
2
on
shows.
Sunday.
2 shows per night.
Thursday, I think 1 show. Friday and Saturday 2. I think.
Cool.
I think that's how it goes. So I actually won't be here at 10:30 on Sunday because I'll be in Madison or in Milwaukee still. So if we want to do this thing on Sunday, we'll have to do it afterward, like
That's
later
fine.
in the day.
We'll plan on that. But going forward, I think our shows, for the most part, are going to be 10:30 on Sundays, just right before football starts, and people can listen to it while
If we choose to continue to
while they're
stream it.
getting their hors d'oeuvres going. I like the streaming. I think we'll start getting
Yeah,
calls
for
here
people
pretty soon.
having all their hors d'oeuvres before football
Yes.
games.
Get
Their
in them
horse
ready.
to oeuvres.
Yes. So you don't have to listen to the fucking yucks on what
Fox
fucking I
News.
hate that shit. That fucking fake banter drives me.
it's
I could-
awful. It's
we could go
terrible.
on for that
Between
for
the
hours. Oh,
like
it's
the sportscasters,
stupid.
Yeah, the
Just throwing the
sportscasters.
football around.
Yeah.
Fucking, just everything's funny. We'll talk about that another
Yeah.
time. But anyways, so more than likely, we're looking at Sundays at 10:30. Both of these episodes will be on iTunes by the end of the week, so I just got to figure that out.
Yep.
So thanks again for tuning in, and
we'll do.
we'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Enjoy the football game.
We'll do a recap of fantasy stuff and everything. So,
Yeah.
see you later.
We'll wrap that up. Cool. Thanks again.